books, can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money back with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the mother. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Thursday, December 11th. We've got Thursday night football on tap tonight, including companion coverage here on the Sports Money Network when the Atlanta Falcons take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in NFC South Division action tonight. Should be a good one. The Falcons are, well, they're already eliminated, but the Buccaneers still have work to do in their battle with the Carolina Panthers. See who finish out on top in the NFC South here this season. Only one team's going, and they play each other twice, so their other two games will be pretty important, and the Buccaneers at home tonight. Slight favorite. We don't have that long of a show unless you like hockey. We got plenty of hockey tonight, lots of hockey. 13 games to preview here on the card. There's also some NBA action here tonight with the 4 games. Pencil in the games over the next 2 nights with the NBA Cup decided here this weekend. You got the other teams playing their 2 go rounds here tonight and Friday, and then again on the, I think, the 14th and the 15th. So you have to write in those games with the NBA over the next couple of days. And we'll preview, I guess, 2 college games. We got to talk the big 2 games here on the card tonight. And if you have any requests, let me know. I want to thank you in for coming here on to the stream. Want to talk to the chat all-stars and thank them for coming along. Want to make sure you guys know that you can join us here in the chat and comment on the games, make your picks as well. And anybody who does comment can win a free subscription from me when I make my best bets over at winnable.com/Ramon. Hopefully I'm going to give you some winners here in a short time, but I do send out another package of 2 of picks. Won't be too many today, not much going down, but you can get those plays from me over at winnable.com and use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those premium picks. And you get those couple of updates every day. And if you subscribe for 1 month at $19.95 and use the promo code, it comes out to $17.10, I think. And that's about 41 cents a day after I add another week onto the subscription. So consider supporting me here on the channel by subscribing to these picks. It's just additional content from me. Usually send it out between 30 and 60 minutes before the late game action, sometimes some overnight as well. And of course, it does become huge on the weekends. Usually have a pretty big package of plays in college basketball. So consider subscribing over at winnable.com. All right. And yeah, like I said, man, wish we had more to talk about today with the card and everything, but that's just the way it goes here with just a little bit of light action here. But we'll recap the action also from yesterday on Wednesday with the other games in the NBA Cup and also the action in the NHL. Let's take a look at some of the. Hold on here just one moment. Oh, man, I'm trying to make sure we're all set up to go with the with the drawing. Okay, there we go. I want to say hello to the folks in the chat right now. Flea Mathis here as well, and who we got? Toucan. Good morning. He's got to play for us in EuroLeague basketball today. Hey, we've got a dozen of you in here so far, so we'll just take a minute or two and let some other other folks come into the chat here before we get our show started. Let's recap some of the action here from Wednesday night, including the NBA Cup. We did see the Oklahoma City Thunder drub Phoenix last night. They crushed them. Booker came up lame before the game and was not ready to roll, and Oklahoma City took care of business to advance to the semifinals here in Las Vegas of the NBA Cup. And also out west, it was the San Antonio Spurs, the big win over the Lakers. Hey, we had them here on the morning steam on Wednesday, plus the points over the Lakers. What was that move on the Lakers? From 5.5 to 7.5. I mean, that wasn't even close. The Spurs were the team to advance here, and they'll take on OKC. Feels like that could be a good game, despite a double-digit spread. We've seen the spread come out for the NBA Cup game in the Western Conference on Saturday, and it will be the Thunder favored by 10.5 points, and the total 225.5 or so when those teams meet on Saturday here in Las Vegas. And of course, the other game we've already mentioned, and it will be the Knicks and the Magic. Now, could see Wembanyama back in action here. He wasn't quite ready to go in the quarterfinal against the Lakers, but still has injury status here, questionable for the game. Could we see the return of Wemby in the NBA Cup semifinals? All right, we also had some winners here on the show in college basketball with an interesting card from Wednesday night. New Mexico and VCU was New Mexico getting that win. I know Mikey Money had the winner there in that one with New Mexico 81-78. VCU led at halftime. Talking about a wild game. Both teams had rather sizable leads in the game, but the Lobos have now won 5 in a row and are 8-2, including 3-1 against top 100s as they got the win as a 10-point dog there yesterday. Also, St. Bonaventure with an impressive win over Colgate, 85-77. St. Bonaventure's 10-1. Their only loss this season was to North Carolina. We saw also Merrimack in a win over Princeton. Hey, we had Merrimack here on the morning steam show yesterday as Merrimack has won their last 4 games, allowing just 61 points in those games. They got out rebounded in the game by a 45-26 margin, but Princeton, man, Pete Carrill will be rolling in his grave right now. They're 3-10 right now. That's un-Princeton like for sure. Northridge late night over Fresno State, 89-87. We saw the favorite flip twice, I think, in that game, but it turned out to be Northridge with the win. They led by 10 at halftime. Also, UMass over Boston College, 76-74. UMass won despite a dismal performance at the free throw line. BC led by 7 with 6 minutes left, and BC struggling here all of a sudden this season. I know Mikey had UMass in that one, and it was Boston College losing it. And not only that, they're 1-5 right now against top 200. So could be a long year for BC. We did have Nebraska here on the show yesterday as well in the win over Wisconsin. Man, they crushed them there yesterday. Also brought home a winner on the show with Marshall. Also had the winner Liberty and North Carolina State game to go under. I know Mikey had the Wolfpack also there in that one. So we were able to bring home a few winners for sure yesterday here on the morning steam. All right. Thank you for getting ready to join me here. Also, a little bit of NHL from yesterday with some winners here on the show. We did have the Detroit Red Wings. Yeah, we had the Red Wings in that game over Calgary there yesterday. And late night we saw, and just in case you missed it, in the NHL there last night, the late game with Seattle beating the LA Kings 3-2. Also, Florida won over Utah, and Chicago's shut out the Rangers. All right, we got enough in here right now to get the show rolling. Like I said, won't be here for very long, so I won't keep it for very long. I'll try to be here about as long as it takes for Sharon Moore to get out of town after. Man, what a bizarre story. I mean, you're just waiting for the next move, the next uh, bombshell headline in the tale with Sharon Moore and the University of Michigan. I mean, this thing's right out of a bad script. Maybe he could end up as the next coach in Fansville. Here's Blake. Good morning. And Terrell says, called it with those Big Ten home teams. Man, they crushed yesterday, and that's how you do it in the Big Ten. Doesn't it seem like it? Now look at Terrell. He says the Spurs, right? They took it easy against the Pelicans. Now you got LA to prep for LA, and they smoked them for sure. Left Luka. Didn't know what was going on around him there yesterday. And Bobby Mack is here this morning. All right, we got 2 dozen of you. I guess we'll start. I know I'm just becoming less popular, but hey, we are the show of the bookmakers and those in the offices around the country getting ready for their sports betting days. Well, thank all the BMs for checking the show out here, waiting for that steam this morning. I don't know if there'll be too much, but hey, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. There's Nuke in the chat today, ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. Could possibly try to find some other headlines, but might as well get started on the big game here tonight in the National Football League. So let's get rolling and get to it. Want to hear from you guys in the chat with your picks as well. All right, I'm going to go to the NFL tonight with the big one here in the NFC South. It's not the best division. We know that, but someone's going to win the division and go to the postseason, but it's really only going to be one of the 2 teams when you're thinking of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Tonight, the Bucs host the Falcons, but again, what we're going to see it come down to the Buccaneers and the Panthers. One of the 2 teams will be in. The other team is not going to be in. There's very little chance that there'll be a wild card berth. I mean, one of them would have to go on a tear, and the other would have to probably go 3-1 over the final games, and they'd play each other twice, remember. But first things first for the Buccaneers, who are getting healthy here a little bit in time with the return here of Mike Evans to the lineup here. The veteran receiver has been out with a broken collarbone. Should be able to return to the lineup tonight. He was almost ready to come back last week, but just wait one more week here. Buccaneers have been inconsistent at best. It almost feels like they're trying to give it away to the Panthers. If you think about how the Panthers have played, actually, you got to think they've actually been a little bit more clutch this season, or at least of late. But still, you got to think Tampa has the potential here, at least tonight, against the Falcons, who are 4-9 right now, not going to the playoffs, and very poor actually defensively now when you look at the metrics and everything of the matchup here. So Tampa Bay favored by 4.5, and the total 44 here in this one. You got Kirk Cousins in there. I mean, how are these Falcons going to produce here tonight against the Buccaneers, who have to be at least to bring motivation, if not anything else? But Tampa Bay 1-5 against the spread as a home team this season, and well, the Falcons are 5-2 against the spread as an underdog. It would seem to play kind of right to Atlanta when looking at those key trends, but still, Atlanta doesn't have the really motivation here. They're without Drake London. They're top receiver who's kind of been missing in action here over the last few weeks with an injury, as the team basically has faded into the sunset right now, and they'll have a receiver tonight, Darnell Mooney and David Sills and Pitts, but not much else when it comes to the offense. They got some names, but they just don't have necessarily the good names here. It looks like out of Bijan and Tyler Algier, they probably should just try to keep it on the ground or throw screens to these guys here. But even Robinson has been a disappointment here in a few of the games of late. He's had some good games for sure against Carolina and the Jets, but been up and down to say the least. So for Tampa Bay here, though, with the return of Evans, that certainly is going to free up Emeka Egbuka probably for a pretty hot matchup here tonight. And also, Godwin, he's been back in the lineup here for a few games now. Hasn't necessarily had a breakout game here with just his third game back, but was consistent in the last two games. And when you got a guy like Tez Johnson, you need all the receivers because not really much going for Tampa Bay at tight end tonight without Otten in there right now. Really missing any real threat at tight end tonight are the Buccaneers due to injury here. As they will have, though, Wirfs is probable, so good to have him back in the lineup tonight. Hassan Reddick probable as well. But like I said, some other guys out of this lineup for the Buccaneers here in general. So Otten is doubtful, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be out of the game. I think it's only a designation that it isn't the only reason why he's not considered out here at this point. Kyle Pitts is actually questionable on the injured list as well, but I think he will make the lineup. He's got a knee injury. That'd be really tragic if he wasn't in there because, again, not a whole lot of weaponry outside of the backs here tonight for Atlanta, but still Tampa Bay shows no interest in covering games. I mean, every game is a drama when it comes to the Buccaneers right now. They haven't covered, right now in like 6 weeks. When you look at these trends here coming in, Tampa Bay losers to New Orleans at home last time out. They did beat Arizona a couple of weeks ago, but it was the same exact role. They were favored by 4.5 and won 20-17 against the Arizona Cardinals, a team that kind of looks like the Atlanta Falcons. And also ran kind of stumbling in, not much going on, but they were even able to cover against the Buccaneers. They got crushed by the Rams, did the Buccaneers. They got crushed, remember, in the second half by the Bills on the road. And they also lost to New England here recently at home as part of the Patriots resurgent season. They got some Super Bowl revenge, if you will, from the pandemic Super Bowl. Tampa Bay's on just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games at home. Marina's covered 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams, despite the fact that Atlanta here right now has lost 7 of their last 8 games. They did have a win over the Saints a couple of weeks ago, 24-10 as a 1.5-point dog, but followed that up with a loss against the Jets. Got crushed by the Seahawks, of course, but Atlanta, they're done. So can they really find any motivation to be a spoiler here with Kirk Cousins at quarterback here tonight? I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Let me know what's going on here with the Buccaneers. Failed 5 straight, 1-4 straight up their last 5. Atlanta's won 4 of the last 6 meetings. Be hard to think that unless you just want to say that they're, you have a team with an okay record here in Tampa Bay. Maybe they can pace the Falcons, but let's go to the chat. See what you have in this one. Tampa Bay by double digits, says Terrell. Atlanta's lost 7 of the last 8. They've checked out. Cousins and Mayfield to throw picks. Nuke loves pain, and he loves when these quarterbacks throw these interceptions. It fills his wallet. And let's see here. And Tariq says we need a bounce back with that Champions League yesterday. Man, there's some wild results in the Champions League there yesterday. Var says good morning. He's got this one to go over the total here in this one. Oh boy, Var. Bucks 12, 6 and 1 against the spread, says Jake, coming in off a loss. So hopefully the Bucks can bounce back here tonight. R. Tom says good morning. Jake says you got over in 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams. Oh man, you guys think it is going to go over there, but Blake says not so fast, my friend. He's got it to go under. Tariq's got Baker to go over 18.5 rushing yards and under 44.5. He's going to tease the Falcons to the under. All right, you guys might be done in the chat. I'll see if anybody else comes in, but I'm taking the Falcons here to stay within the number. I'll mention one player, Zane Gonzalez here. He's kind of found a job once again in the league with the Falcons here. And he's one guy who's actually been showing up here of late. When they kicked wrong way Koo out the door, all of a sudden Gonzalez has come in here and done a pretty good job. This perfect on his field goals so far this season. He has not missed a kick yet since joining the Falcons point after or field goals, and it's been 5 weeks. So I'm going to take the Falcons here to hang in there, and maybe it'll be Zane Gonzalez with 5 field goals, and maybe it'll be 18 to 50. I don't think it's going to be 44. Hey, that might be an achievable number here. We know with the Terrell meter with our prime time unders right now, it's pretty solid here. We've kind of been rolling with some of these as well. So I'm going to go with the Falcons here to hang in there in this one. Just play hopefully a game. This might be their last game where they'll get a little bit of a chance at the spotlight. I think the Bucks may end up winning this one, but I'm going to take the points here with Atlanta tonight. Figure it's a decent game. All right, Art Thompson's liking the under here, and Bobby Mack likes the Bucks to blow them out here tonight. Says lay it. All right, great job by the chat, and thank you, chat all-stars as well. I like the Buccaneers matchup for sure, but man, why all the drama? Why is it always such an issue with the Buccaneers to just try to, put a good game together? It seems like right now. All right, I think that's it from you guys. I'm going to get ready to roll here right now in the NBA tonight. There are 4 games been penciled in here tonight. The Celtics will take on the Bucks here on Thursday night. Like I said, the NBA, each of the teams that did not make the NBA Cup quarterfinals basically get penciled into some other games here over the next 2 nights, and then do the same thing again after the NBA Cup finals next week for 1 round as they make up the difference in the games played. So these ones are kind of thrown together a little bit, but nonetheless, we get a 4-game card here tonight. Started off with the red hot Celtics coming in here taking on the Bucks. Man, the Celts looking pretty strong here right now with this winning streak. This looks like the Celtics we're used to, even if the players on the court aren't the same right now. Boston with a winning streak here and covering as well. Man, they're hot. Having won 9 of their last 10 games overall coming in. They're also 8-6 against the spread as a favorite, 7-5 against the spread on the road. And the Celtics right now with 8 straight covers as well coming in. They're off of a win over Toronto, 121-113. They got that money on the road. They smashed the Lakers, of course, at home. They routed Washington, beat the Knicks and covered at home, and got past the Cavs as well. So just a real good run here for Boston. It's a 5-game winning streak officially for Boston, they've gone just 2-5, however, in their last 7 games against Milwaukee, but got a Milwaukee team coming in here without Antetokounmpo right now. They've lost 10 of their last 12 games overall. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Milwaukee's gone under in 6 of their last 8 games overall. The Celtics are just 5-7 to the under on the road. I'm going under in this one. This one's already dipped 2 points from 225.5 to 223.5. So I'm going to take the under in this one with Boston and Milwaukee. Milwaukee's going to be hard pressed to, I would think, to actually find a cover in this game, but I'm going to try the under here. 9 points is certainly a lot, but I wouldn't doubt it if Boston comes up with another strong performance right now against teams that they can beat. Right now, Boston, I don't want to say they're back, but it is a pretty good feel right now when you got, Brown playing like he is right now. White's doing a great. Everyone loves Pritch, and also we've seen the contributions of Walsh as well, kind of been important too. So, Milwaukee just 10-15 right now. They're just a mess. We know that. Consecutive losses here to Philadelphia and Detroit. They did have knocked off the Nets here. They did beat Detroit a couple of games ago before they ended up losing the game at Detroit by 12 points. And at least they've got a little bit of success at home this season, but just 7-7 straight up and against the spread at home here. So going to have to try to take the under in this one. Get your plays from the chat all-stars here. And let's see what we've got with VAR likes the over in this one. R. Toms likes the over as well. Tree says the NBA is unpredictable. Well, what are we doing here? Should we just close the show off? We're trying to predict it. 9 Legacy says Falcons on the spread and the Bucks on the spread. The parlay action there. 9 Legacy. Bobby Mack likes the Celtics here. When our Milwaukee correspondent saying to fade the Bucks here, man, that's just I know you got a rugged supporting cast, and so maybe it is pretty tough for Giannis here, and he doesn't want to go wilting away here while he's injured. I know, but he'll be back. I mean, he's still a very, very top player, right? But maybe they'll be with the lineup that they're throwing out there with guys like Green and who's in his place right now, Sims. But just overall the lack of depth on this team. But when you're supposed to be a big star that carries a team, after a while you got to look at, hey, what can I do to help this team? And will Giannis be traded before the trade deadline? That's really weighing on a lot of people's minds. It has to be laying in the back of the minds of I'm sure Bobby can tell me, but weighing on everybody's mind here late this season. So, all right, Fernando likes the Bucks. Team total under. All right, gang, and I'll take the under as well. I'll take the under for the full game. Hey, the Clippers are on the road here, taking on the Houston Rockets. NBA action here for Wednesday night. The Clippers coming in off of a couple losses here of late. Minnesota and Memphis. They did cover against the Wolves last time out, a 3-point loss, getting 8.5 points. But the Clippers have been pretty dismal to the number this season, 7-17 overall, also 5-7 against the spread as an underdog, 6-8 against the spread on the road. Meanwhile, Houston continuing to roll, of course, and they're coming in off of a loss, however, to Dallas, 122-109, but Houston still 12-7 against the spread as a favorite this season, 14-7 against the spread overall. Gonna Rockets team here right now coming into this game has won 15 of their last 19, gone 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games. They won and covered against Phoenix, won and covered against the Kings, had that uh, uh, duplex series that they split with Utah, but Clippers come in here, struggling for sure. They have gone over in 7 of their 5 games seven of their 12 games as an underdog, but have gone under in 5 of their last 6 games overall. The Clippers are just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games against Houston. They've dropped 7 of 8 overall coming in. Houston's gone under in 7 of their last 9 games coming into this one, and well, they're almost a double-digit favorite here now. It's gone up from 8.5 to 9.5, and this total's gone up from 220 to 222. Sengun is probable here. He's been under the weather. Steven Adams probable as well. Clippers get Jones here probable. I got to go over in this one between the Clippers and Houston here tonight. Give me the over 222. We've seen this one go up already about. I'm going to go over with the Clippers and Houston. Both teams are pretty heavy trending to the under here over the last couple of weeks, but I'm going over. Robert's going over as well. Tariq says Rockets on their team total over. Oh man, they should get that easy there, right? Tonight, I would think. All right. Next up, we've got the Trailblazers here on the road taking on the Pelicans in the stinker of the night. We got the Pelicans coming in massive losing streak right now. Of course, they've lost 7 straight coming in. The Blazers have lost 5 of their last 6, but Portland has gone 5-0-1 in the last 6 games ATS against New Orleans overall. They've won 4 of the last 5 in the series. New Orleans, though, the interesting thing about this team, 0-7 straight up, but 5-1 against the spread in their last 7 games, and they've been profitable this year. 14-10 ATS, 8-5 ATS at home, and like I said, covering right now almost like nobody's business despite these losses. They lost by 3 to San Antonio, getting 8.5. They did get beat pretty handily by Brooklyn, but before that they lost to Minnesota by 9, covered 11.5. They lost by 7 to the Wolves in a duplex series game and covered 12.5. They lost by 12 to the Lakers, covered 15.5. But notice one thing: those are all bigger spreads than this 4.5 here. But again, Portland, a bizarre 1-7 against the spread as a favorite this year. So this one really is interesting, right? You have New Orleans, who's been the worst team in the league. They are covering spreads against a team like Portland that is not really showing, overwhelming success this year. I mean, they're under 500, 9-15 overall, having lost 5 of their last 6, and come in 1-7 against the spread as a favorite this year. You can't trust the Blazers, I would think, to do anything on the road here. Interesting also, though, Portland, so 1-7 against the spread as a favorite, right? They're 7-1 to the over in those 8 games that they've been favored. I got to go over in this one. I got to go way over in this one with Portland and New Orleans. I don't care if it says 240.5 right there. I think it's going over that. The send out was 237.5. I was jumping up and down, but you're probably getting the mid 240s at least here in this one, I would think, tonight between Portland and New Orleans. If it's not going to be a good game, let's make it a crazy game here tonight. Zion is out. Jordan Poole is questionable for Portland. Yang is questionable. Williams questionable. Wesley questionable. Klingon is out of this game, and Holiday's been out for a week now. But I'm going over in this matchup with Portland and New Orleans here tonight. Going way over. All right, let's see what we got here with the matchup. Pelicans for 9 Legacy. Bobby Mack is on the Pels here. Murphy's had some strong performances, says Terrell. Fernando's going over here. And let's see. Hey, good morning to M the Great today. Pelicans and over there. The Pelicans don't play any D. 3-22. These guys coming in to this one. Portland 9-15. 4-22. Forgive me. Sorry, New Orleans. All right. And one more here tonight in the NBA with the Nuggets taking on the Kings. In this one, we're seeing this total here. It's starting to drop here a little bit right now. A little bit of a move to the under here to 240, even 239.5 within just right now here. And yeah, the Nuggets are going to be favored in this one.
Final.
Minus 10 here on the road. And the total, where's our graphic here? There we go. Nuggets here by 10. Total 240. The Nuggets come in with a 3-game winning streak right now. Consecutive wins here over Indiana, Atlanta, and Charlotte. Not necessarily covering them all here of late, but they are 12-9 against the spread as a favorite. Sacramento, pretty dismal here. ATS this season, 8-16 against the spread overall, coming in 2-8 against the spread at home. 7-14 against the spread as a dog. Sacramento's not making any money anywhere here this season. They failed to cover in 5 of their last 6, losing 5 of their last 6 actually. Nuggets, meanwhile, have won 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams. Nuggets have won 4 of their last 5 overall, but they're just 2-4 ATS in their last 6. Denver's gone over in 7 of their last 8 games. Sacramento's gone under in 6 of their last 7. The series has gone over in 5 of their last 7. I'm not using that as a criteria, but I am going to go over in this game with the Denver and Sacramento here as my play at 240. Like I said, it's coming back down a little bit here right now, but I've got 3 overs tonight here on the card. I just went with 4 totals here on the morning Steam show, and I'm taking the over. Get your comments on this one. Hello to Plant-Based in the chat. Nice to see Plant-Based in there. Kings for Bar, Kings for 9 Legacy as well. And there's Greg. He's got his numbers coming in. He's got this one right on those numbers. He said the Spurs were money yesterday. All right, I guess that's it. And I guess that's it in the NBA, man. Good thing we got some college ball here. Oh, Tariq has one more here. Denver first quarter in the over. Denver doesn't play any defense either, right? I agree, but they are kind of like selective defenders, right? I mean, they're a team that doesn't feel like they're going to extend too much energy during the regular season. And, yeah, they got some players who don't play much D, but once you get into the bigger games, they'll have a little bit of defense here. They'll still be a contender here in the West. All right, and man, to think that the West has come out so strong here compared to the East this season, man. And how about OKC? How about OKC right now in this NBA Cup and every game? Just smashing right now. Gosh, I know Booker was out, but man, the Suns got really, you'd think that it might get boring to keep winning all the time. They're winning so much, they might get tired of winning. Please, it's too much winning. Make sure you join us tonight. You're on the Sports Money Network for our companion coverage with razor sharp picks. And we'll have too much winning tonight. When the Falcons and the Bucks here. All right, let's get to a couple college games here today. We only got 8 college games, so let's take a look at the 2 best games or the 2 biggest games, I think, of the night here with Iowa taking on Iowa State. You got the Cyclones, a big favorite here, minus 11.5, 2.5 here. And look, I mean, these two teams from Iowa lost just one game between them. It's Iowa 8-1 coming in, Iowa State 9-0. But well, there's a little bit of difference between these two teams right now. Iowa State is really crushing coming here. Remember that huge win they had over Purdue last time out on the road, beating one of the top teams in the country. They're one of the top. They're number 4 in the country. Purdue, where do you have them? Top 2, top 3. But Iowa State smacked them around in that game, 81-58 as a 4.5-point dog. So still 11.5 for a team coming in here like Iowa. Not only are they 8-1 straight up, they're 7-2 against the spread. So seems like they're still pretty good, right? But they are 0-1 as a road dog this year. That was against Michigan State, or in a conference game. It is something to consider as well. They've already played a couple of conference games here, and then you got to throw this one in. That could be said for both teams, but Iowa started their schedule here, and meanwhile Iowa State has not. But you do have Iowa here. They lost to Michigan State. Their only other time as a dog this season. 71-52 is a 5.5-point underdog. This one's double digits, but still Iowa, very good numbers with a 7-2 spread record. I mean, I don't know what else you want from a team given its best so far. Iowa's gone under in 6 of their last 7 on the road, dating back to last season. They've only played one road game this season. Iowa's gone over in 5 of their last 7. Iowa State's gone over in 6 of their last 8. And Iowa State 6-1 to the over at home this season. Meanwhile, 13 of the last 17 meetings between these two teams have gone over as well. So when Iowa's been a home favorite, pretty much the game has gone over, and these two teams kind of go over. Let's see what you have here in this one. But do you think Iowa State, are they really that good that they can plaster a team that's also been covering the numbers here? Let's go to the chat. See what you guys have. All right. Iowa under here for Justin. Iowa for Tariq. And Greg says, because they beat Purdue, that's why you have the big spread. Well, do you think that if they would have lost to Purdue, that it would not still be double digits here? Purdue is pretty good. Whoa, we got a steam move here. Uh-oh, I got breaking news, almost breaking news. The steam is coming in right now on Iowa. This spread, maybe it's you guys betting it here right now. I don't think I, unfolded it that strong here right now, but the move is clearly coming in. You could check your books right now. You could check your apps. This thing's down to 10 points in a few books here, at least 10.5 everywhere. The steam is coming in right this second on Iowa. That happens here on the morning steam, and on a morning where we're not going to get much steam, it's good to have kind of an important line move here for sure. There's no doubt that Iowa is taking the steam here right now. This game was as high as 12 here, even 12.5 on the send out, but clearly it's at least 10.5 right now everywhere, except offshore, dragging a little bit. But hey, you're seeing it like I am in real time right now with Iowa taking that steam here. All right. And for me in this one, I'm going to go to the total. I mean, you guys chiming in there pretty good on the side here at this point, but I got to go over in this one with Iowa and Iowa State. Give me the over here in the matchup between the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones. All right, Fernando says, lay it. And let's see. Oh, we got some others as well. D-Money says, good morning. He likes Iowa State here. He says, lay it. You're getting a discount now. Robert likes the over with me. hello to AOD. And Greg here, I think he still likes Iowa here. That's an 8-point spread right there, and he likes the over for sure. There at 146 is the way he has it. Nine Legacy says he's our Cyclone representative, but he says take the Hawkeyes. All we need to do is get Drake to play the winner, and we could just have the Iowa championship. Well, Drake's as good as these teams, obviously. All right, Iowa plus the points. Who's the third best team in Iowa this year? Iowa, right, Greg? They're a pretty good team. I mean, come on. All right, let's go on to the next one here. Where's Mr. Westers? Is he at the game already? What's going on here? We got Syracuse taking on St. Joe's today, huh? St. Joe's coming in 5-3. Syracuse coming in 5-3, but it's St. Joe's that have coming in winning 3 straight over Princeton. Like we said, with Princeton, what's wrong? Pete Carrill would be rolling in his grave here the way Princeton's going, and St. Joe's couldn't even cover against them. They won by 2 as a 5.5-point favorite. Princeton 3-10. St. Joe's did beat Temple 70-69 in a Big 5 game, getting 1.5. They beat Coppin by 22, laying 22.5. I mean, that's a loss, but as expected, at least. For Syracuse they're coming in here off of that win over Tennessee that turned their fortunes around after playing a tough schedule of losing games to Houston, Kansas, and Iowa State. Hey, Syracuse, at least no excuses, taking on all comers here, really, right? Syracuse is 5-1 against the spread at home, 3-1 against the spread as a home favorite. For St. Joe's here, 2-6 ATS overall, 1-4 against the spread on the road. So they really haven't been Syracuse, despite the little bit of stumble here. But look, they were just playing good teams, no doubt about it. And I think Syracuse probably still can be in pretty good position here as a double-digit favorite. But I got to look to the total. Man, this thing's at 150 already. We may be getting to a point where it's gone too far, but I gotta think it's an over game. The send out was 144.5, and I probably couldn't make this a premium, but I would think it would have a better chance of going over still than it does under. I know the buyback's already started here, probably at 150 right now. It's at it's at 145.5. I'm sure it went all the way up. Did I make a typo? No, I didn't make a typo. I don't do typos. So, this thing went all the way up to 148.5 or so. I saw 149 here, but man, I like this one over, you guys. It is a premium. Oh, well, too late now. It's a premium. I'll put 145.5 up there. Look, I typed these numbers in several hours ago here for sure. But this one at 145, this should be a premium. What am I doing? I like this one over for sure. And this now, I'll look at the trends. I know the trends here do say under City. I know that with these two teams, but I don't feel like should be the case. St. Joe's is 1-4 to the under on the road. Syracuse is 2-4 to the under at home, including 1-3 to the under as a favorite. So I get all that, and my reaction was pretty much just out of the eye test a little bit, I think, in this one, but I'm going over with St. Joe's and Syracuse. I know the Sharps are going to start taking this back, and they're probably going to end up going with the under, but I just can't not go over. I'll be the one. I'll take the criticism. Okay, here we go. Let's see what you got in the chat. You got Justin on St. Joe's here. 9 Legacy says Syracuse will crush them. Greg here, he's got pretty much a crushing there too. He's got Syracuse for sure right there. And he's got over too, big time. D Money says Syracuse. Greg says, oh, St. Joe's is garbage everywhere. Tariq says take St. Joe's. If Syracuse will get the win, St. Joe's gets cover bar. Likes the over here. All right, I'll go with the over in this one. All right, that's the two that I've looked at here in college basketball. I did send out a couple overnight plays, but I did dial it back a little bit there from couldn't quite replicate yesterday the results from Tuesday night, but with that card yesterday in college basketball, we really could manage the win there with the Boise State laying the points and then NC State laying the points. We just should have laid the points. We laid 2 touchdowns in those games and covered, and my totals couldn't come through. All right. That's it for the action here in college basketball. Settle in, get ready. Hope you got, we got a, well, you know, I only sent out 2 moves. I don't want to, give it away here, but there is some steam coming in right now with Texas, Arlington, and Rio Grande Valley. Steam to the under here. We've already made a move on this one, but it's down to 141.5 here right now. Pretty big move. Hey, if you were on the subscriptions with me here, you would have already known about the move here a little bit, at least what I was looking at in that Arlington and Rio Grande Valley game. So steam to the under. And, well, I know I went with the over in Denver, Sacramento, but just moments ago, here comes steam rolling in on the game to go under. We're seeing it here now go down to 239 right now. It wasn't too much higher than that, but reportedly the steam is coming in on the under here in this one between the Nuggets and the Kings here tonight. Hello to Jimmy in the chat. Greg says, remember Jameer Nelson? All right, that's going to do it for the colleges. But, man, we've got 13 games in the NHL. If you like hockey, this is your night. So let's go to the ice here tonight and take a look at the action in the NHL. Settle in for 45 minutes of hockey action. We're going to start it off here with the Lightning on the road taking on the Devils. You got my man. Oops, my man's got a typo. There we go. All right. Let me just clear the deck here. My man, Henson in the between the pipes here, but the Lightning favored over the Devils on the road here. Is it really up to $1.35 here right now? Been a steady move, it feels like right now with Tampa Bay here on the road. Maybe they're starting to get hot. I mean, the Devils still have a great record, but both teams were on losing streaks before winning their last game. Tampa Bay beat Montreal 6-1, and the Devils beat Ottawa 4-3. But before that, both teams were mired in a bit of a losing skid. Montreal had basically comes in here having lost 4 of their last 5 games overall. Montreal. Tampa Bay comes in having lost here 4 of its last 5 overall. Same with New Jersey. In fact, they've lost 5 of their last 6, including 4 of their last 5 games at home. Tampa Bay has defeated New Jersey in 10 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams. New Jersey has lost 4 of their last 5 at home to Tampa Bay. So it's been a Tampa Bay dominated series for sure. Tampa Bay's gone under in 4 of their last 6 games overall coming in. And New Jersey's gone under in 6 of their last 8 games overall. But yeah, both teams were struggling here, but despite their good records so far this season, they finally got off the snide in the last one. So see what you have here in this one between Tampa Bay and New Jersey as we get ready for a big card here of NHL action. For I've got Johansson in here for the Lightning and Markstrom. I've got Allen here. I know some of the sites, that's where I was confused. Some of the sites are listing Markstrom right now, but I've got Allen here in this matchup tonight. I'll go to the chat and see what you guys have here in this one with Tampa Bay on the road. Let's get our hockey coverage started. Okay, Greg Robert's on the under here. Bar is on the Lightning puck line. And Greg says this one's a 3-2 game here tonight with Tampa and New Jersey. All right. And for me in this one, I'm going to try the under here with Tampa and New Jersey. This one's a little close for me, but if it's 6, I'm okay with that. I'll try the under here. All right, a 9 Legacy. He's on the money line. Tariq is under here as well. Whoops. Tampa won the meeting back in November by a score of 5-1. All right, and let's go to the next one. Okay, the Canadiens are on the road here, and they've got some news coming out here of Montreal right now. I just talked about that 6-1 loss by the Canadiens here and how it's been a bit of a disaster right now with the Habs and all those goals have been given up for weeks. And Montembeault, he's really never recovered from that injury in the playoffs, and Davis is not as consistent as they would have liked him. So get ready for a young phenom goalie here, Fowler, coming in for Montreal. And will he get the start tonight? It does seem like the Canadians are hush-hush so far in this one. I don't know. See if we get the morning skate news here, but Fowler may be expected to make his debut here with the Penguins. He's been pretty good with Laval so far this season, has some pretty good numbers actually with the Rocket. I think he's been very, very solid with them. Not only that, a strong winning percentage as well for this young goalie Fowler. He comes in here by Yari for the Penguins here, 9-2-1, 2.54 goals against average. I mean, Yari's been pretty good and pretty solid. It's just, again, this young goalie, if it is indeed Fowler to get the start here, I don't know why it wouldn't be. Like I said, the Canadians are just a little bit hush-hush on it, like they don't want to give it away, but I know all the fans are ready to maybe see a change here, and could they get this young goalie to kind of come through and start to get the Canadians, I don't want to say back on track. I mean, here's a franchise that, over the last, 5 or even 10 years, I mean, they've not been good. They've only started to get okay here recently, and they're at least 15-11-3. I mean, 5 years ago, you would have been, amazed to see them at this record. The Canadians were struggling there for so long, but do come in here, pretty strong record on the road right now for Montreal. They come in here 8-3-2 on the road. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, at home 6-4-3. Canadians have been massive overs this year for sure. Of 8, 11, and 4 as an underdog to the over for Montreal, and Pittsburgh 7 and 5 to the over at home, but they are 3 and 6 to the under as a favorite here. And look, if it is Fowler, he's supposed to be a pretty good goaltender. So, it's going to be tough. I mean, maybe with Montreal, it hasn't been necessarily about the goaltending. I mean, maybe it's been something else here. They gave up 6 goals to Tampa Bay and gone over in 20 of 29 games so far this year. But I'm going to go under in this one with Montreal and Pittsburgh. Give me the under tonight. With the goalie notwithstanding, if Dobish has to be in there, so be it. But I'm going to take the under for sure in this one with Montreal and Pittsburgh. Okay, there's a little bit of steam coming in right now, and it is in college basketball. It's one of the we talked about the Iowa game, and the steam was coming in there on Iowa. Well, guess what? Even if I said I like it over, the steam just came in on the under in the Iowa State game for sure here right now. It was 143.5. All of a sudden, it's down to 142 here. Steam to the under with Iowa and Iowa State. Okay, you guys have any comments right now on the matchup in the Montreal game here with Pittsburgh? Let's take a look. Tariq likes the Pens here tonight, and Barr likes the Pens as well. Greg says it's 4-3 Penguins, and Robert likes the Penguins as well. Yeah, you know what? I think they may end up getting the win. It seems like if anything, a better price on Pittsburgh there. Also, didn't necessarily note it, but didn't cover the trends. But actually, in the game between Montreal and Pittsburgh, Montreal has lost 6 straight games against the Penguins right now, and also they've lost 4 of the last 5 times into Pittsburgh there. So I'm going to take the under, though, in that one with Montreal and Pittsburgh. Next up is the Senators on the road taking on the Blue Jackets here. You've got Linus Ullmark in there for Ottawa. They're 13-12-4. Columbus, Elvis Merzlikins, 13-11-6 for the Jackets. Both teams coming in having lost 3 straight. Ottawa with losses to the Rangers, to the Blues, and to the Devils. And they didn't look good in those games. They were close, but didn't really. They were favored in those games, and they lost. So Ottawa keeps losing when they're favored. Meanwhile, for Columbus here, losses to Florida, Washington, and Carolina. So they're struggling here as well. In fact, as an underdog, they've been pretty dismal, 6-15 this season. This is a closely rated game, and Columbus is 6-3 straight up at home, but Ottawa's over 500 on the road. For Ottawa here, they've lost 5 of their last 6, but they've defeated Columbus in 4 of the last 5 meetings. However, Columbus has actually won 8 of the last 11 games at home between these 2 teams. Columbus just 2-7 straight up in their last 9. 8 of the last 12 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over. Ottawa's been, like all Canadian teams, an over team this season. They're 18-11 to the over overall, 10-5 to the over on the road. They've gone over in 6 of their last 7 games. So, look, Columbus, we know these teams are, probably better than expected. I don't know. Columbus is actually over 500 here. No, both teams are losing here a little bit right now, but let me hear from you in the chat. I probably just by default might end up here on the favorite. If you want to call Columbus a favorite. In fact, I see right now maybe Ottawa's moved to the favorite. Yeah, I think okay, I have it on screen as Ottawa's a favorite here. Okay, here we go with the chat. No, nobody cares about this game. Greg's got it 4-3. There you go. Well, I'm going to take Columbus actually in this one, not to go against Greg here, but like I said, Tariq's got the over here. I think maybe more significant is the fact that Columbus has been an okay home team here. They're facing a team that's, just like them, not very good. And the fact that they've been able to come through with a modestly decent home record for a team that is mired in last place, 6-3-3 at home here so far. Meanwhile, for Ottawa, they come in here with a record of 7-6-2 on the road. Not awful, but give me Columbus here in this one. First meeting of the season between these two teams. But like I said, at least Columbus does win. Columbus wins at home. Senators win at home when they play each other. All right, nobody cared about that game. That was let's go here to the Hurricanes taking on the Caps tonight. Got Freddie Anderson in here, 18-9-2. Washington comes in 18-9-3. This is one of the games of the night for sure here with these two. Washington's been pretty hot here of late. They come in off of a win over Columbus, 2-0. They did lose to Anaheim on the road, but man, they finished the road trip pretty strong. Remember, they had consecutive wins over the Islanders, the Kings, the Sharks, gave up just of those games. And I don't know, when you got goaltenders here tonight, look, you got Freddie Anderson in there, you got Thompson in there for the Caps. I'm showing some sites, maybe you're saying Kashetkov could be in there tonight, but I've got Anderson, I think, right now. Carolina comes in here 8-4 on the road so far. They're a pretty strong favorite as well. It's 17-9, but man, Washington's been so late. They've just been really on a roll here of late. Washington right now coming into this one against the Canes with 7 wins in their last 8 games overall. 6 of their last 7 they've won at home. Carolina's won 4 of their last 6 overall, and they've gone 12-16 against the Capitals. Carolina's gone under in 5 of their last 6. They've gone under in 12 of their last 18 on the road, dating back to last season. Washington's gone under in 5 of their last 6 meetings with Carolina here. But let's see how you have it tonight. Carolina and Washington, one of the games of the night here for sure. I know the pros are going under, but I don't know here. I probably agree with them. I don't think it's the best price. Is it still 6.5 under 25, or is it 6? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing 6 unders out there even. I got to call it at least 6, right? Maybe even 6 under 15. There we go. Let's call it 6. See what you have in the chat in this one with Carolina and Washington here. All right, Mr. Wesker's made it. He's on the Caps. Barr is on the Caps as well. And Tariq is our DMV correspondent in there, and he says the Caps are keeping it going here, at least right now, with a pretty good run. A pretty good run for sure here right now for Washington. Even over, the other thing about Washington starting to put it back together here. I don't want to say put it back together. They've been pretty strong all year, but now they're really kicking in gear again. Nobody wants to trust this team, Tariq, and yet they keep on winning time and time again, it feels like. So at least you're getting them at home here, and maybe even a little bit of plus money. Why not, right? All right, I'm with you. I'll take Washington here. Maybe I talked myself into it, actually. Look, I don't know, 6 goals here. I know it's already gone into 6. It was higher, and the line is moving down. All right. let's keep it going here right now and take a look at the next one with the Ducks on the road here, taking on the Islanders. Uh, Pretty decent matchup here with Anaheim 19 10 and 1. The Islanders coming in here 17 11 and 3. The Ducks have won 3 straight over Washington, Chicago, and Pittsburgh. The Islanders, meanwhile, coming in off of a win over VGK at home 5-4. And yeah, they lost to Florida before that, but they were beaten up on Tampa Bay a couple of times, and they beat Colorado. Remember, the Islanders are pretty hot here right now as well. But the one thing that's troublesome about the Islanders is the fact that they're still 4-7 straight up as a favorite. Meanwhile, Anaheim 13-8 straight up as a dog. It's like that maybe isn't the way it's supposed to be, but that's the way it is. And is it too much for the Islanders to even be considered a $1.25 favorite here? Look, their record's almost as solid as Anaheim's here right now. So Anaheim's won 4 of their last 5. The Islanders have won 4 of 5. But Anaheim just 2-6 straight up in their last 8 games at the Islanders. Anaheim's gone over here in 8 of their last 9 games overall. Coming in, they're 19-11 now to the over because of that streak. Anaheim's gone over also in 8 of their last 12 on the road. So Islanders have been a pretty steady most part, 11 of their last 14 under, but they're still 9-7 to the over at home and 7-4 to the over as a favorite. We talked about, that role that they're in as a favorite. They usually, 4-7 straight up, but 7-4 to the over in those games, meaning they give up the goals. And 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over, including 4 of the last 5 years here in New York. It's gone over. So I got to go over in this one. I know it's 6.5 here right now, but in fact, we're seeing the total here move even higher. It feels like right now 6.5 juice to the over now. That on the screen there it says under, but it's clearly juice to the over everywhere right now. I feel almost like we at least got to change it on the screen so no one thinks I'm cheating the line. But I'm going over with the Ducks and the Islanders in this one. These two teams went under in both of their matchups last season. In fact, the Ducks won both matchups last season, 3-1 here and 4-1 in Anaheim. But I'm going to go with the over in this one. Roberts on the Islanders here. Var's on the Islanders. Roberts on the over, and Tariq is on the over. I'm going to take the over. Next up, the Golden Knights are on the road taking on the Flyers. Yeah, the Golden Knights are favored here, $1.55, maybe $1.50 here right now, 5.5 over 20. But Golden Knights here come in pretty strong right now. Record currently of 14-6-9. Philly's been pretty great, 16-9-3. Can't fault that. The Golden Knights were on a winning streak until they lost that game to the Islanders we mentioned the other night, but they before that beat the Sharks, beat Chicago, beat New Jersey, beat the Rangers, as Vegas has won 4 of their last 5 games. They've also won 5 of the last 6 meetings against Philadelphia, but Philadelphia has won 5 of their last 7 overall. They're 10-5 at home this season, but Vegas, one of the best road teams in the league, with a record of 7-2-5 on the road right now coming into this one. Vegas won here last year 5-4. They also won at home against the Flyers 5-2 last season. But Vegas, not the best of favorites, interestingly enough. Most of their work comes at home. They're just 12-13 as favorites so far this year. And with Philadelphia being able to, win games at home, 10-5 overall. So for whatever reason, Vegas, I guess when they've been a road dog, which they have been, obviously on occasion here, right? Quite a bit, if you think about it. They've been good in that role. So I don't know if it's a matter of they can't stand prosperity. I mean, they still rated higher here than Philly, of course. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams here in Philly have gone over. Philly's gone under in 6 of their last 9 at home. 4 of the last 5 matchups between the two teams have gone over as well. I'll go to the chat first in this one. Oh, we don't have a lot from the chat. VAR here is on the under, but Mr. Weskers does like Vegas here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take the Flyers here. It does bother me that Vegas sometimes struggles in the favorite role. And if you're going to put $1.50 up there, I'm going to have to try Philly in this one. All right. Robert, though, liking Vegas as well. Vegas has been great. Tariq's going to take Philly with me. All right, I got someone to go along with me. Here we go. Let's go Sharks and Leafs here on Thursday night. Hey, the Sharks are still a 500 club right now, 14-14-3. Toronto comes in here 14-11-4, and they've been pretty hot of late, coming in here off a win at Tampa or versus Tampa at home. They did lose to Montreal before that, but had beaten Pittsburgh, Florida, and Carolina before that. Toronto been doing pretty well here. Like I said, they've won 4 of their last 5, although they are just 2-5 in their last 7 games at home. San Jose 2-4 in their last 6 games overall coming into this one. San Jose's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games on the road right now, and Toronto's gone under in 4 of their last 5. Now, Toronto is still 13-4 as a favorite so far this season, 18-11 to the over. I know there was a time when Toronto was a massive this season, but things have definitely calmed down in that stretch. I mean, it was like 18-20 or something crazy like that. So they're actually, like I said, 4 out of the last 5 under, and you're going up against the San Jose team that is a pretty solid under here right now, 13-18 to the under. 13 of their last 17 under as well. I'm actually going under here in this one with the total at 6.5. It is heavily juiced here to the under minus $1.20 or even $1.25, but I'm going under in this one with San Jose and Toronto. Boston Bruins here taking on the Jets. Bruins come in here, a pretty strong run here of late. They're 18-13 overall. They've won 3 straight. Talk about teams that don't necessarily go to overtime a lot or lose in overtime. Boston comes in here with consecutive wins. They beat St. Louis. They beat New Jersey. And they beat St. Louis again. Boston playing well, staying in all these games here right now. They're 16-11 as an underdog this season, just 7-8 on the road, but 18-13 right now. Winnipeg 14-14-1. Winnipeg definitely slowing down here of late. It's been a strong season, of course, here for Winnipeg, or at least a decent season. Maybe expectations were higher for sure, but at 500 here right now. But Winnipeg's lost 8 of their last 10 games overall. Boston's won 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams. Winnipeg's gone over in 5 of their last 7 at home. Boston's gone over in 4 of their last 6 games here, and Boston's 15-12 to the over as a dog. So, oh man, you got Swayman and Comrie in here, and for Comrie here, he's not knocking the socks off of anybody for Winnipeg. He's 6-7-1 of the 3.16 goals against. Swayman 13-7, 2.67 goals against when he's in there. It's usually a more stable situation, obviously, for Boston here, and they're the dog. I'm going to go over, though, in this one. Last the meetings last year went over. It was 6-2 Winnipeg and 8-1 Winnipeg. They really did drub them, so much so that You might even think there could be some revenge in mind when you think about 14-3 goals against. I mean, it was last year, but maybe that does stick a craw a little bit. And we're seeing some steam right now in a hockey game here that we already mentioned. I said go over in Ottawa and Columbus, and well, that steam's coming in here with Ottawa and Columbus. We're seeing it go and over here to 6.5 right now, because we did say it was about 6 over 20, 6.5 under 20, but we're seeing it go over here right now, and it's moving at the sharp books actually with that Ottawa Columbus game to the over. Boy, that one's going to be 4-3 tonight. All right, let's see here. Robert likes the over, I think, in this one with Boston and Winnipeg, and that's where I'm going. Give me the over here with Boston and Winnipeg here tonight. Hey, we're going a little bit quickly, but good card. Come on. We got the Blues with Binnington going up against the Predators and Jusaris. This one, you've got the Blues. Hey, Toronto the Blues coming in here right now, 11, 13, and 7, but they've won 2 of their last 3 overall. Wins over Ottawa and Montreal, 5-2. It was the second time they lost to Boston 5-2 in the last 4 games. For Nashville, meanwhile, they come in here off of a win over the Avalanche, 4-3. They did get beat by Carolina, but they beat Calgary, they beat Florida, and a little bit of a good run here for Nashville all of a sudden. They're a slight favorite here against St. Louis, but for whatever reason, St. Louis has been sliding just a tad here right now. The Blues coming in, let's see here. They've beaten Nashville in 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams, including two meetings last season. Let me see here. In St. Louis, it was 4-1. The Blues won. At Nashville, it was 3-2. The Blues won. I still want to take Nashville in this game. St. Louis has gone under in 9 of their last 13. They've also gone under their last 9 on the road, but Nashville's been strong over of late. They've gone over in 7 of their last 8. The Blues on the as an underdog are 4-11 to the under. Actually, man, are the Blues going to get it? I don't want to say Saros can have a strong game here, but I'm thinking Nashville probably going to win this game and maybe win it by might be even a puck line move, but I'll just take a money line here. All right. Yeah, give me a Nashville in this one as a small favorite over St. Louis tonight. Man, Nashville's been, pretty bad here, but I think they're facing a fellow bad team. I'm gonna take Nashville as a small favorite. Robert liking the Predators here. Hey, there's Mike Lee in the chat. Nice to see Mike Lee in there. All right, we still got 4 dozen of you here for the last 4 games of the NHL card. We've got a great one here, don't we? With Dallas coming in 21-5-5, winners of 4 straight coming in, wins over New Jersey, San Jose, Pittsburgh, and Winnipeg. Those last 2 were, rugged games, but they got it done. Dallas with Jake Ottinger here going up against the Wild and Wallstedt here, the Great Wall of St. Paul. Has been a big story here right now. It feels like we don't see him enough. But we get him here against Dallas. Still, Dallas does kind of have this series under control when these two teams have met. But, man, Minnesota was so hot there of late. They've kind of cooled down here, having lost 2 of their last 3 coming in. Losses to Calgary and Vank before they beat Seattle on the road 4-1. But it was a 4-game road trip, and they return home right now to face this Stars team, one of the best teams in the league here, clearly by this season. But Dallas has won 9 of the last 11 meetings between the two teams. Dallas has also won 8 of their last 9 coming in. Minnesota, because this little bit of a losses, 3 in 3 of their last 5 games, but still 9-3 straight up in their last 12 games overall. Dallas has gone under in 4 of their last 5. Minnesota's gone under in 5 of their last 6. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two have gone under, and Minnesota's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games at home. That's coming from a team that started, I believe, 7-0 to the over at home this season. So it's been way more solid here of late for Minnesota. I gotta think this one's going under, man. If this one doesn't get past 3-1 or 3-2, I would be surprised. Dallas here 3-2 tonight, maybe even 2-1. Here, I got to go under in this one with Dallas and Minnesota here. I mean, you got two teams, very good defenses, right? Dallas in the top 4 or 5 in goals against. Minnesota real strong in the defensive shooting percentage, and also pretty good special teams as well. So I got to go under in this one for sure. I think Dallas wins this one either 2-1 or 3-2. Maybe just drop a little something on both of those scores here tonight. But this has got to be the featured game. Here's Mr. Weskers. He likes the Stars 9. Legacy says Minnesota money line, and Roberts says take the under in this one. All right, the Florida Panthers are on the road taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Now, this would be the game of the night if Florida was, living up to the expectations that they should have as a contending team. They're starting to get it together here a little bit. We know they're far from getting to their peak, but now they've won 3 in a row all of a sudden. And Colorado, I don't know, maybe they're showing the most vulnerability they have all season. I'm sorry, apologize. I'm game in there. We'll come back to it. I just clicked on the wrong banner here. Sorry about that, gang. But I'll just continue on since I started this one up. Anyway, maybe the Rockies are starting to, come back down to earth a little bit here. They've actually lost 2 of their last 4, and very close games as well against the Rangers and the Flyers. So, they've been in their little toughest stretch. I don't know if you want to even say it like that. I mean, that seems almost unfair. But also Florida, though, right now they're about as good as they've been here with the 3 straight victories here right now. Although the Columbus, they beat 7-6, Utah was 4-3, but still a good on Florida here. And like I said, this would have been, this is one of the matchups of the year. If you look at the card, right, you're like, oh, you gotta, these guys are all going to meet twice, and maybe this could be the, if the Panthers were living up to their I don't want to say expectations, because once the injuries came down, their expectations dwindled a little bit. But still, in this series between these two, last year, let's see, Colorado won at home 3-1, Florida won at home 7-4. So, Colorado made it interesting there, 7-4. Wow. Colorado, of course, comes in 11-0-2 at home so far, so haven't even lost in regulation at home so far this season. 11-0-2, but still Florida here is getting it together right now. They moved up to 5th place. They're 5-6 on the road here so far, but you still got to think that Florida, maybe the wherewithal here. I got to take them on the puck line in this one to hang in there right now. Like I said, they're showing a little bit of life here. Maybe Colorado, maybe I'm looking just to get a spot against them somehow and root against them here tonight. The Panthers are minus $1.30 on the puck line, but I'll try them here. Give me the Panthers plus 1.5 against Colorado. You could easily say that Florida is not very good this season, but still got a lot of championship caliber players on the team, right? I got to take them. Hey, hello to Jermaine in the chat. Robert's on the Panthers here. And let's see, Fernando says Avs team total over. And Var says Panthers money line lean to the over. All right. And good morning to Mikey Money. Hey, make sure you join us tonight, everybody, for our companion stream with Razor Sharp Picks. Mikey and I will be there. And also, First Strike is up underneath the videos tab for this Saturday night's card. We'll be together on Saturday night as well for our UFC coverage from Vegas with that main event between Brandon Royval and Manel Kopp as flyweights do battle here on Saturday night, and we'll be here for the last event of the year. Thank you, Mikey, for popping in. All right. Oh, let me get back to that. Let me get back to the Oilers game. I kind of blew that one, you guys, with the Red Wings taking on the Oilers. In fact, let me update the line. Let me update the line of the Red Wings and the Oilers here tonight. Talbot going up here likely against Skinner. And 190 and 6.5 to the under here maybe right now with the Red Wings and the Oil. Yeah, there we go. I'm sorry, 6.5. In fact, it might be over 25 here. A lot of books. Of course it is. I mean, this one's going to be 4-3, isn't it? Isn't it? With the we know it's going to be. It's going to be one of these teams going to be leading 3-0. The other team's going to come back and make it 3-3. It's going to go overtime. The team that was winning in the end will come back and still win. That is my prediction. So whoever scores first will go on to a 3-0 lead. The other team will come back to tie it 3-3, and the team that led 3-0 originally will win the game. I don't know who it's going to be, but that's what's going to happen. Detroit comes in here having won 3 straight games over Seattle, Vancouver, and Calgary. A little bit of a good run here for Detroit. I mean, after all, they're 17-11-3, playing well. Edmonton, for all their woes, still over 500 here, 13-11-6. We're, waiting to say any day now Edmonton will just start crushing, but it doesn't feel like that's going to be the case. It feels like they're going to be mired in this kind of performance all season long. They'll probably finish, above 500 for sure. They're 7-3-3 at home, so good home record here right now. But Detroit feels like they've just played well enough here. They're 11-4 as a puck line dog, right? And you get to lay it here, $1.50, I think, with Detroit. With Detroit, that's how closely rated this $2 favorite is. So you still got to lay $1.50 if you want to take Detroit on the puck line. But come on, man. Edmonton is 10-3 to the over at home. Detroit's 18-13 to the over overall. Teams did meet here already once this season. Detroit won at home 4-2 in their first meeting. So I'm sticking to it. I'm probably just going to go over here and figure it's 4-3 one way or the other. I mean, I don't want to dumb it down for myself, but I think I will. For Skinner here, 2.91 goals against, 10-8-4 record. For Talbot, 9-4-2 with a 3.01 goals against and 88.5% save percentage. So, I'm just going to go over here in this one and figure it goes to 3-3. I'm half kidding when I make up that story about this game. Edmonton's gone over in 6 of their last 7 at home. Detroit's gone over in 8 of their last 10 overall. So that's, give me the over. All right. And, last fight for 6 weeks, right? We got to take a little extra time off, get ready for that Paramount coverage next season. And Robert liking the over with me. There's one game left and the show's over here. Thank you for joining me. Let's have a great Thursday. The Sabres on the road. Pekka Luukkonen going up against a Thatcher Demko sighting here tonight. Demko making his, we'll see, maybe his 10th start of the season. We didn't have any confirmed goalies yet, but after the morning skates here a little bit, we're starting to get some of the news out. You got Hildeby for Toronto, likely. Markstrom for the Devils, likely. Merzlikins is in tonight. Rittich for the Islanders should be noted there. Not Sorokin. Vladar for the Flyers. And that's all for there because that's the East Coast. But anyways, maybe a Thatcher Demko sighting here tonight. He's 5-4 with a 2.8 goals against, 90.5% save percentage. But going up against Pekka Luukkonen and those Sabres, 4-5-1, 2.91 goals against, 88.5% save percentage. Buffalo's been just good enough, and Vancouver, don't want to highlight the poor last game here between last place teams, but that's basically what we're looking at. Buffalo 3-9-2 on the road, but Vancouver not terrific, but they are 4-9-1 at home. They're better on the road, I guess. Buffalo's lost 3 of their last 4 coming in. They did beat Edmonton on the road last time out, and I don't know, they might be pretty good here, but they sure have been on the road here for a while now. This is their 5th straight road game coming in. But look, Vancouver's been dismal. They lost to Detroit. Yeah, they somehow beat Minnesota, but they lost to Ottawa. They lost to Colorado. They lost to the Kings. Still been a bit of a struggle here of late for the Canucks. They've lost 6 of their last 7 at home, 5 of their last 6 overall, but Buffalo's still 3-4 on the road, dating back to last season even, and just 1-4 in their last 5 against Vancouver. Buffalo's gone under in 6 of their last 9. Vancouver's gone under in 5 of their last 6, which is ironic because these teams pretty much have been over teams this season. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under, but Buffalo 9-5 to the over on the road. Vancouver 10-4 to the over at home. Help! Let's go to the chat and see what you have here in this one with Buffalo and Bank here tonight. I think the total might be more 6 over. Might be a 6 over there in this matchup between Buffalo and Vancouver, and minus $1.15. In fact, I think the Sabres are actually favored now. Just goes to show you, Sabres going to win this game, aren't they, tonight? But I'll probably go. Pardon me, guys. I'll probably go with the total over here and try to get out of here on this show. And too much hockey here tonight. All right, and let's see here. I'm going to go to the chat here real quick. And let's see, Buffalo money line. Get that Christmas money, Robert. Thank you, Robert. Mac likes the Canucks here. I think that's it. From you guys here. I'll make my call. Just make my call on the total here in this one. I'm going to take the over with Buffalo and Vancouver. I'll still go over. All right, that's going to do it here for the morning steam. And did see a little bit of breaking news this morning that speaking of, I don't know if Blake is still in there or if he might have some information on it, but it looks like the Titans are kind of zeroing in on former Cowboys and Packers head coach Mike McCarthy to take over with the Titans. So Mike McCoy won't last there, won't get the job, and maybe it'll be Mike McCarthy All right, let me send you off to the commercial here, and I'll take a drink of Wawa.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, I think I can make it to the last few moments of the show, and let's just run the drawing here and see who gets the subscription here tonight. I'll just let it go here. All right, I better do it again. We can't go out on that. We already know Mikey. Let's do it again. Here we go. Sports Money gets a lifetime subscription to my picks. Plant-based. That's worthy of consideration. Plant-based is coming nice and up in here to say hello. So Plant-based can use the promo code WINNER, get 1 free month of subscription. All right, I'm just going to get out of here. Thanks for joining me, everybody. We'll see you tonight. I'll try to get my voice in order so I can make it for the show. Join us tonight at 4:45 Pacific, 7:45 Eastern for the big game tonight between the Falcons and the Buccaneers. And also here, VP MMA picks. We have the fight card. We previewed 3 fights, including that main event. We also did Battle of the Caesars, Almeida and Olashechik, and also featherweight battle with Brito and Bagdasarian. All right, it's going to do it here for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow with more morning steam for the Sports Money Network. Get me out of here. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Gonna cash, then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with Sports Money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. What? Ramon Scott. Sports Money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.